What do you do, Phoebe, if somebody says something to you and you're not sure what they've said or what they mean? What do you do?
I say, what do you mean? If I don't know what they mean. And if I don't know what they said, I say pardon.
The most difficult challenge is background noise, noisy environments such as birthday parties, family occasions, when there's a lot of conversation happening in the same place. The tactics that she has currently got don't work. For example, she can't ask people to repeat because there's 5 conversations going on at the same place. At the moment, she will come and ask me as her mum and say, will you please explain? That's not always convenient, that's not always appropriate, that's not always functional within whatever surroundings are going off. It's difficult, and the only way at the moment is to take her into a quiet place, do that one-to-one reassurance, everything's fine, whatever her worries are at that time, to repeat what she's missed or what she thinks she's missing, because that's often the case. She hasn't actually missed a conversation, but she's got it in her head or got it through her disability that she's not functioning like everybody else in the room. Children, perhaps at her age, don't realise that not everybody will be listening to everybody else, and that's part of the breakdown, is explaining it's not actually a breakdown, it's not actually part of your disability, and it's helping her realise where her place is in all of that, if that makes sense. To support her further, it's explaining to her that this is part of her disability and learning to accept strategies and what you can do about it, and being proactive in teaching her. For example, if she's missed somebody, having the confidence to say, excuse me, sorry, could you look at me please? We've taught her to expect people to look at her so she can read their lips, and she will tap people now and ask for that. If a complete breakdown happens where there is no rectification whatsoever, then it is a case at the moment, with her only being 8 years old, I step in and facilitate that conversation for her.
He loves his football. Obviously, again, it's one of those sports where the coach is on the side shouting them, telling him to do this. And sometimes he hears, sometimes he doesn't. Even with the implants, it's a hard one. But he gets involved in exactly the same way as any other child, with his brother.
Yeah, I'd just ask him what he did understand, or what did you hear, or what did you think I meant by that? And then you'll find out that either it is because, sometimes it might be because he misheard something or misinterpreted something. So, yeah, so just questioning him and asking him back.
We're very conscious in the home that if there is a lot of people around, for example, family gatherings, that the noise level is kept low, or that somebody is near Charlotte. So if she misses a conversation, there's somebody there to explain or check, did you hear that, Charlotte? And we often repeat things that have been said. Charlotte's also developed some self-tactics, such as, now she's getting older, we've helped her learn to tap somebody on the shoulder and say, sorry, excuse me, I didn't quite hear that. And she's become more confident in doing that. I think that's helped her outside of the house as well, sort of in the wider setting.
Are there times, Phoebe, when it's hard for you to hear what people are saying? Can you think of any times when it's hard for you to hear in the things that you do?
When people are talking too loud, I can't hear properly.
Are there any places in your school where it's hard to hear? Are there any noisy places in your school?
When we go out for playtime, it's very noisy because people sometimes scream. And when I go to a party and the music's on, it's hard for me to hear.
What do you do then?
I just get on with what I think they said.
Do you try and guess what people say?
Yeah.
And what about in the playground when all your friends are playing a game and there's some noisy children around shouting? What do you do then?
And they try and speak loud so I can hear them.
So your friends know, do they, and try and help?
What's happening now is when I'm having a conversation with his older brother, he always wants you to say it back to him what you've been talking about. And I find it very difficult sometimes because it can be quite complex, to try, the other conversation that I'll be saying with his older brother, to try and feed it back to him. It can be quite difficult, but we do try, to help him to understand and be part, of the conversation.